Shalom. This is to give some background and standards to the Talmud, and we're going to be concentrating in this year on this is the first background share on what is Torah Shebaal Peh, and the Torah Shebaal Peh translated means the oral law. It's an odd explanation because it doesn't really tell us everything about what it actually is. What's important to note is that at Har Sinai, Moshe Rabbeinu was taught the Torah by Hashem. He wasn't like handed a Torah. Here's a Torah. Moshe Rabbeinu transcribed the Torah, but in transcribing the Torah, it came along with an explanation for the Torah, and that explanation is what's referred to as the Torah Shebaal Peh. It's referred to as the oral law because it wasn't supposed to be written down. That was the idea. Now, today we find that it is written down, and that we explained with Rabbi Yehuda Nasi in our shir on history on the Tanoim. That Rabbi Yehuda Nasi was scared that the oral law would be forgotten, and because of Roman persecution, and therefore he wrote down some basic principles, not nearly all of the oral law, but wrote down some basic principles in order to make sure it wouldn't be forgotten. The oral law consists of really a number of things. It consists of an explanation of the psukim. A lot of psukim we won't understand at face value. For instance, there's a pasuk that says that we should circumcise our hearts. Without an explanation that goes along with that pasuk, we're putting ourselves in serious jeopardy if we would take that literally. It also has basic principles of the law, as opposed to merely a series of laws and a set of laws that we might find in the Shulchan Aruch. The oral law consists of principles where we could take new cases and apply these principles to determine the law today. Lastly, it also has actual laws that are not listed. So, for instance, I find in the Torah a pasuk that tells me to put on tefillin, but the oral law tells me, and this was told to Moshe Rabbeinu, that my boxes should be square and they should be black. That's a law listed in the Torah Shebaal Peh. So that's an explanation of what Torah Shebaal Peh is and what it consists of. It's a little different today because today we have it written down, but the Torah Shebaal Peh today is really the methodology by which we understand. And don't think that just because this library, you can see the books behind me, and the Beit Midrash is filled with svarim, with books that are basically commentaries that consist of the oral law, that now we have the oral law all completely written down. There's still an oral aspect to it. That oral aspect is the methodology that our Rebbeim, that our teachers teach us, on how to approach and how to analyze the Torah. That can never be written down. That's something that you have a tradition of. Shalom.